This is Creating Your Encore Career and Becoming a Silver Entrepreneur with your host, Lynn Freest. Lynn will share ideas and expert advice from people that are walking in your shoes and living their encore careers, where they want and at the pace they want. You'll start a company of one with confidence and knowledge to live a fulfilled life of freedom and ease. Lynn is a coach and leadership consultant whose mission is to show senior leaders and experts how to start something refreshing and new after a full career in the corporate environment.
Welcome to this episode of Creating Your Encore Career and Becoming a Silver Entrepreneur. Thanks again for listening. Well, with an encore career, the rewards are better than a cold beer on a hot day. And you can be creating value in the world beyond just winning the next pickleball game. You can work when you want, where you want, and you can do the work you love. You can live the dream. So if you're ready to get started today, contact me at lynn@lynnfreest.com. And thanks again. I appreciate you listening. So this is episode 172, and it takes a community to build a career. So I'll start out by saying I'm a member of multiple communities, and I think it's an important piece in an encore career because you had a community in your corporate life. You probably have a community, literally a local community that you're a member of. But now as you're building a new career, it's important to be around other like-minded people. So I'll just mention there's 5 communities that I'm a member of. The first is the Influence and Impact Community and Mastermind with Mike Kim. And that's a group of about 50 people that I've been connected with, and I think I've shared some things in the past that it's all people. They're doing different things than I am, but we're complementary. Some people are working on podcasts. Some people have experts in copywriting. Some people are experts in graphic design. So again, I'm around a lot of people. Some are older than I am, some are younger than I am. But in general, they all have different skill sets. And so it's just really an amazing thing to be engaged with such a marvelous group of people. And I've been doing this now for a couple of years. Sometimes I'm more involved in the community, sometimes less. But again, it's got a huge influence on me and really has helped me shape my encore career. The next community is with Your Message Matters with Jonathan Milligan. Now, in this community, I actually fill a couple of roles. I'm a coach with the group as well as a member of the group. Again, this is a similar community. It has a little bit different spin to it, but it's a community of about 30 or 40 people. And again, they're all people committed to growing a business. Now, again, they're growing different kinds of businesses. Some people are, in this particular group, are really focused on writing books, and that's of interest to me and just an interesting process. Other people have leadership things that they teach, and again, similar to what I do, but again, a little bit different spin on it. Again, this is a group that I've been involved with off and on for quite a while. And again, as I said earlier, sometimes it's have a deeper involvement, sometimes less. And these communities, they change. Membership changes, so it's always an evolving thing. Now, the next one it's with the group Beyond Emotional Intelligence. CEO is Michelle Navarez. Now, I took this as an actual training in emotional intelligence several years ago, but as a consequence of going through an extensive year-long training, I got involved with several different cohorts, and there are probably almost 200 people who are certified emotional intelligence coaches in this community. So this one's a little different because it's a community of coaches. Now, we have different spins on who we coach and why we coach them, but again, it's all focused around this idea of going beyond your emotional intelligence. Rather than making it just a thing you learn about, it's a thing you actually do. And I've talked about the things with Michelle several times in past episodes. Now, right now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm not only participating in this group of coaches, but I'm also taking a course. They're offering an online course and that I'm, again, refreshing my understanding of the skills and ideas around emotional intelligence, and I'm also serving as a coach. So some people are taking this as their first introduction to emotional intelligence, and I'm serving as a coach for one of the people, as well as taking the course myself. So it's, again, I think you have to keep looking for opportunities where you can both give and receive in these communities. Then the next community is called the Modern Elder Academy, and I just recently had talked about the course I'm taking with them is Finding Purpose. I'd earlier in the year taken a course with them on transitions. How do you make transitions? And obviously, both these ideas are real critical to an Encore career. Now, this is a community the total community has got several thousand people. The particular class I've involved in right now has several hundred people. And at any given time, there are 100 or so people on some of these calls. Again, an opportunity it's like-minded people. Not all of them are starting Encore careers. Some of them are just transitioning out of working life and into true retirement. Sometimes they're trying to find a new path for themselves, and it may be volunteering or different things like that. So again, an interesting community. In this case, the like-minded is they're similar in age, that they have a little age like I do. And then the final group I wanted to mention here was SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives. And this is the local group. So this is an in-person type group that we're doing. And here is an opportunity, one, for me to give back. I help people who are trying to work on their businesses. It's all about helping people start or scale up their businesses. And I get a chance to work with people in all different stages of building their business. So just as I want to help corporate people build an Encore career, in this chance, I get to help people create their new business. And it may be a brick and mortar business. Sometimes people are selling products and stuff. And this is a local and face-to-face, so it has an interesting, different component to it. Now, there are several ideas that I just want to share with you that I think are key in terms of why do I engage in these communities. One, it's with like-minded people. Some are doing the same thing I am, although not many, but at least they're like-minded. They're all trying to build a business. And even if they're literally doing the same thing, don't really view it as a competition. There's so many opportunities for collaboration, even if we're all coaching people or doing leadership coaching or whatever it may be. There's just more than enough work out there. You don't have to ever think about joining a community is going to somehow hurt your ability to find people and market your services and things like that. It's the connections you form are just invaluable. And to be honest, it's also this idea of the secondary or the loose connections that you form. I know I've often seen articles in LinkedIn that you may not get opportunities from the people that you are actually connected with, but you often get the connections or the opportunities from people who is connected to someone else. So this whole idea of it's not just about you and the community, but it's also there's this network effect where the community can actually expand your reach just through the fact that a lot of people know other people too. The next idea that I really want to share is peer learning, and it all folds together here. It's as somebody else, they may be building a business around neuro-linguistic programming or whatever it may be. But as they try to figure out how to market or how to describe their service to people, I get to learn too, because I can learn from how each of these people are taking forward action in their business. It helps me. It's not identical. I can't just copy it, but it informs me. Now, in some cases, some of the technical skills actually really do help me. They know how to create additional email lists. They may know how to learn how to do better podcasting. So there are, things like copywriting, all these things. So I can learn from the people as they pursue their own learning. And I think, again, this is invaluable because you might not run into that, certainly not in your past set of connections in your corporate job, or even in your current set of community connections. You won't just naturally run into people that are maybe doing this, or not very many of them anyway. Then there's the element of coaching and mentoring in these communities, and it can go both ways. And in fact, just as we've talked about in the Encore career, you have to think about being both a coach and being mentored. So it's not only you can help other people, maybe there's some part of your skill set that you can give insights to someone else that, again, they're not doing the same thing you are, but you may be able to provide them with insights. And then likewise, being mentored. I know I have people that, they help me understand things. So as I talk to them, they may have a bigger understanding of, say, podcasting or a bigger understanding of copywriting. They can mentor me as I try to craft my message also. Then there's the whole arena of accountability. And I think this helps us all. And sometimes, quite frankly, it's constructive love or tough love, but also encouragement. But it also keeps us moving forward because you know that your colleagues, you're going to meet with them, say, every 2 weeks or something like that. And they're going to be asking you, hey, what's happening? How's it going? Now, they won't be judging you, but they will say, hey, what's in your way? Why weren't you able to make some progress? So it's this whole idea of it's accountability, but I'll say in all these groups, it's not really judgmental. It's just they'll acknowledge what you said you wanted to do, and they'll just follow up with you on it. So it helps give you that structure. Just as in the corporate life, you had accountability for meetings, had accountability for projects. Now as an independent entrepreneur, in theory, you don't have a whole lot of accountability other than to clients. But as far as building your business, this is one way to get that piece of accountability to help you move forward in your business. Then there's the idea of, along with the accountability and you being a solo entrepreneur, you need new routines of thinking and action. And that's what you're also going to hear from these people that are pursuing other activities. But you'll start to sense that, oh, they have a different way of thinking about that. Or, you know what, they've got a great process to make sure they get the podcast done every week. Or they have a wonderful process to see that how do we go about constructing a blog post? Or even how do they deliver speeches online over Zoom? So all these ideas, again, the content they deliver may be different, but you're going to have an opportunity to see how they think about it and how they actually put it into action. And the final thing that at least has been my experience is in almost all these groups really is you get to meet a wide variety of people, much wider than you would in your local community. Most of the groups I'm involved in, they're international. So you're getting to hear perspectives of people throughout the world, not just wherever you currently live. And I think that's valuable because all of a sudden, one, you find out that the issues that are faced by you are faced by pretty much everyone in the world that's trying to start a business. And two, they do have different perspectives. And I think it broadens my thinking, certainly, that all of a sudden, somebody from Europe will talk about something and, okay, I hadn't even thought about that issue and they will explain it to me and, okay, I understand it better now. So I think this whole idea of getting on these online groups, the international flavor, I think, is really invaluable. And finally, just a thing about why you want to do an Encore career, why you want to join in online communities, is research has said it quite frankly leads to a longer life. The fact that you stay active in your second half of life, the fact that you stay in community and have relationships with people in the second half of life, it all helps you build a longer life. The science is pretty clear. That's one of the things that gets people if they're not paying attention to that. They leave the corporate world and they just enter a little world of all their own. And it's not good as far as making the most and enjoying that longer life that you have available to you. Well, that's it for this brief recap of why I think communities are vital and why I've joined them. Now, and to be honest, I'll have to say that I gave you quite a list of communities, and some of them I'm more engaged in at different times, but sometimes I wonder, have I over-engaged myself? That could happen too. And a couple of times I've had to step back from maybe having a leadership role or having some sort of a role in some of these communities. I only have so much time also. So, like I said, that's one of the things I struggle with because I just enjoy so much learning and finding out new things about people. But I have to watch myself because sometimes I can get too involved in too many places and then don't have enough time to really do the focused work that I need to do. Just a quick review, some of the key ideas we talked about. You get a chance to work with like-minded people who are creating, if not an Encore career, are creating something. And you get to work with creatives. There's the whole rich area of peer learning. You get to learn yourself and you get to learn while others learn too. So it compounds your learning. The ability to both coach and mentor. I think you get better at what you do when you coach others, and you get to learn a lot of new things when you allow others to mentor you. Accountability. Again, give us that structure, those routines, those things that, again, as a solopreneur, you probably need that little structure in your life to keep things going, because you're the boss of the business now, but that means you don't have anybody necessarily keeping you accountable. Then the whole idea of the opportunity for engaging on a wider geography or even an international basis, I think leads to a much richer life. And then finally, being engaged in community is a significant factor in having a longer and more prosperous life. So never forget that. Well, with an Encore Career, the rewards are great. And you can be creating more value in the world beyond just winning the next pickleball game. You can work when you want, where you want, and you can do the work you love. So if you're ready to get started today, contact me, Lynn at linfrias.com, or head over to linfrias.com, listen to a few podcasts, and get on the email list. We'll see you soon.